Hello there people, my name's Amanamaz and I have just seen Deadpool and Wolverine. Tell a small lie, I haven't just seen it, I've seen it twice already. The day it came out and on Saturday. That's how much I love the film. I would have done a review sooner, but I was out for the weekend. I won't be going into spoilers by the way, as there's too many Easter eggs, cameos and surprises to count, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone. But the film is amazing. Deadpool hasn't missed so far. I still think the first one is the best one, but it is a toss-up between 2 and 3, and both are great, it's no insult at all. I know the MCU has been hit and miss as of late, whether the MCU is dead or it's back, and it's funny because they acknowledge it in the film, and since Marvel has done some restructuring of the movies, I do hope this becomes a good run of form for them. But to be fair, I think I've been saying that for the last few MCU projects and it hasn't turned out well at all. And not gonna lie, I don't have much hope for the next Captain America movie. But back to Deadpool, it's very fun from start to finish. The opening credits is so catchy and on par with the other Deadpool opening credits. Ryan Reynolds just kills it as always as Deadpool. In fact, I think he has overtaken RDJ as Iron Man and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine as the best superhero casting of all time. He's just so funny, but he does have them emotional and serious moments. That doesn't make it too silly, especially when it involves his friends. Hugh Jackman, what can I say? He's just special as Wolverine. He does play a different version of the character, so the one that dies in Logan stays dead and doesn't ruin the ending of that film. This version of Wolverine is air quotes the worst Wolverine, and they do briefly go over his origin or why he's the worst, but I did wish they went more into that because it did feel a bit light. But then again, Hugh acted the shit out of those moments with his backstory, so it did really sell it to you. Cassandra Nova I thought was a really good villain, probably the best one out of the Deadpool trilogy, and my god her powers really creeped me the fuck out. Like she would stick her fingers into people to mess with their mind, and it will come out of them, like her fingers will come out the gap between the eyes and its socket. My cousin watching the film with me had to watch it between her fingers, it freaked her out that much. But despite being a complete and utter psycho, there's almost like a childishness to her, which makes her more interesting when you consider her backstory. So I do hope we see more of her in the future in some capacity. Paradox as well I thought was a very good character. He was so camp and unserious, but almost sinister at the same time. Can you be sinister and camp at the same time? Like his motivations were sinister, but he was so camp about it that he was hilarious in his own right. The action is what you expect from a Deadpool movie, over the top, stylized and violent. It is so good, and it's mad how creative that they can be with the R-rated violence. Like, there were multiple moments that look painful as fuck, but you still get a laugh out of them. I do think the best though is at the end, when they face the final army, so to speak. I won't spoil who they face off against, but it is entertaining as hell. In terms of what I didn't like, well, I wouldn't say what I didn't like, but the weaker moments are that there were times where the CGI looked very obvious, but it is relatively minor. And the plot is a bit thin, but it is a Deadpool movie, not Shakespeare. I wasn't exactly going in expecting some deep and meaningful cinema, but it's not the turn off your brain to enjoy it kind of plot. Like it strikes a very nice middle ground where you can have a good time, but not have it so it's just mindless action. I wouldn't expect any Oscar nominations though. So overall, it's a very good movie, and it puts a win in the W column for Marvel, which they need more of as of late. And I would recommend that you go out and watch it as soon as you can, multiple times even. In fact, I might even watch it a third time, but that's mainly because my local cinema is pretty cheap. If I had to give it a rating, it would be an 8.5 out of 10. I just loved it and all the nerdy shit that came with it. And if you're into all the Easter eggs and stuff, you'll have a good time picking all them out. Anyway, if you like my review, please leave a like and subscribe, that will greatly be appreciated. And I shall see you next time, and peace.